I am Andi The Knittress. This is my channel on the internet where I like to talk about yarn. You can find me on the internet most places as Andi The Knittress or The Naughty Knittress, as well as thenaughtyknittress.com.
I'm Scarlette the Knittress. And
we haven't filmed in a long time. This is episode 61, and we are coming up on our podiversary. It will be 6 years in February. 6 years of doing this in February. That tracks about 10 episodes a year. Because I am by no means regular when it comes to posting episodes. So, today we are drinking coffee in our cute little macaroon mugs that we got from Marshall's. I am wearing my photographer hat by, I don't remember who's the designer. I want to say Lavanya Patricella, but I'm probably wrong. I will put it in here. And then I am wearing my second breakfast cardigan, which is super cozy. It's got a nice little shawl collar and some elbow patches in there. I also don't remember the designer of this one. This is just one of my staple cold weather pieces. You're not wearing anything. That's okay. All right. So we've got a few FOs. Some we don't have with us because we haven't filmed since either September or October. I don't remember. So yeah. Scarlette, you finished your purple skirt that you were working on last time, right? It's just a cute little like bubble skirt that you wear over top of jeans or leggings, just like an extra piece. We'll pop in a picture here. Get her to take a picture at home. I finished the Unbearable hoodie that I showed you guys last time. I will also pop in a picture of my husband wearing it. He loves it. I couldn't bring it today if I wanted to because he's probably got it on. I also finished another photographer hat, which I gifted to my dad. It was knit out of Knit Picks palette. I did Knit Picks palette and I held it quadruple so it would be extra squishy. My dad loves to roll his photographer hat up like this when he wears it. That's not my jam. I like mine to be slouchy. But I will pop in a picture of the hat in here. And then you finished a hat.
See if I can roll it up before I put it on.
Scarlette made this cute little brown hat. I think that this is Patons wool, and she crocheted this cute little leaf detail on it to make it look kind of like woodsy. So every year for Christmas, our family does a white elephant gift, and you either have to spend less than $20 or you have to make something or put something in there that is used. And Scarlette surprised everybody and made this hat. I didn't even know that she had made the hat for her white elephant gift. And I was actually the one who opened that gift, and so it's technically mine.
The only reason you didn't know about it was because I made it as soon as you left for work.
Ah. Okay. So what else have I shown you guys that I was working on last time? So I finished my skeleton chicken. So this was the chicken pattern by Tracy. I'm not going to butcher her last name. I will put it in here. I altered the pattern a little bit by turning the body to stockinette versus garter. And then I crocheted all of these fun little skeleton bone pieces in glow-in-the-dark yarn and sewed them on there. And this is all stuffed with all scrap yarn. So there's that cute little chicken, and it has been named Cluck Skellington. And do you remember that whenever I'm trying to show something to zoom in, you gotta hide your face so that it will focus. Okay, so that is chicken, that is done. I don't know if I was working on my Witch's Brew or not last time, but it is finished. This is a pattern by Stephanie Lotven or Telly Bean Knits. It is her mystery knit along during October, and it was called Witch's Brew, and so that is finished. I knit that up in all sparkle fingering weight yarns I had from my stash. Let's see, there's a little bit of pretty twisted yarns in there. This white is a glimmer alpaca. This pink is from Andrea the Cat Lady. This hot pink color here is, as well as the orange and the yellow, are Plymouth Yarns Electrolyte. Yeah, and so I just love that. That's really cute. Got all of those fun stitches on there. I did alter my pattern a little bit in this chart here because I didn't read the instructions properly. So we're going to just say that I altered it. Not on purpose, but it's altered nonetheless. I also finished this one here, which is the Merry Making Cowl, which is also by Stephanie Lotven of Telly Bean Knits. This is the one that she does during December, and it's super cute. It's got some reindeer on there and some cute little trucks with Christmas trees and some snowflakes and some Christmas wreaths on there. I knit this in, so the pink I used, the same pink from this skein here. That is Andrea the Cat Lady. The green, the red, this gingerbready brown, as well as this light sagey blue are all from Kim of Driftwood Farm and Yarn from past advents that I had of hers. And then the white again is the glimmer alpaca. So I finished that. Oh, I forgot my bookmark. I will put a picture in here. I knit the Ancient Mosaic bookmark. Don't know the designer's name. I will put it in here. Because I wanted to see if it would be a good fit for teaching folks how to do mosaic knitting, but on a small scale. Oh, I also finished, so fun story. There was a lady who came into my store and she had this little box that had like gobs of knit fabric in it. And it was all cabled and blue. And she told me that she had been working on this sweater for a majority of her life. She started it before her kids were born, and they are now adult men, and nobody wants it. The sleeves are giant. She's ripped it back a few times, and she just didn't want it in her life anymore, and she was going to throw it in the garbage. And she figured instead of throwing it in the garbage, she would take it to a yarn store, and somebody would find use for it. So I was like, okay, and she just walked out. I didn't get her name. I had a couple other folks in the store at the time, so I couldn't like just be, hey, wait, let me, get your information. So I hope that I see her again. But I started uncovering what was in the little box, and there were panels. There was 2 front panels and a back panel and a sleeve and an almost complete sleeve. Like it was almost all done. Like literally I had to knit 1 honeycomb repeat in the cables on the sweater sleeve, and then there was like a shoulder strip that needed to be knit a little longer after you bound off the rest of the sleeve. And then I sewed everything together and picked up and knit a button band around it. And as I was doing the button band, I realized that, you know, this sweater needed some pockets, so I did some afterthought pockets in one of the cabled stripes on the front. And then I also made some elbow patches out of leather that I had and put them on the sleeves. And it perfectly fits my father-in-law. And he loves it. It's a giant sweater. It's meant to be like an oversized 80s, 90s, you know, cabled sweater. It was meant to be huge. I will pop in a picture here as I'm speaking of, you know, what the pattern was supposed to look like. And then my father-in-law in the sweater, he was super excited. And he's texted me since I gave it to him that he loves it. It's like wearing a blanket. And he's just super happy with it. And I'm super happy that he's happy with it, because that man has asked me to knit him a sweater for the better part of 20 years. And he's a giant man. And I didn't want to knit him a sweater, because we all know I'm a selfish knitter. And so I was super happy to be able to just put a little bit of work and a little bit of love into this piece that this woman put her whole heart into, and it now has a loving home with a great recipient. So that is something I finished as well. I think that's all my FOs. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not true. One more FO. I knit the little Chickie. This is a new pattern from, I think, the Knitting Tree LA. I can't remember the designer's name. Whoever designed the original emotional support chicken pattern, this is an emotional support Chickie. So my friend Amber gifted me that pattern, and I cast it on right away and I knit it. This is just super cute. I decided not to do the little waddle, just because it's a little chick and maybe it didn't grow it yet. It's just like a cute little blue Chickie. Go ahead.
I haven't done anything in a while, considering for Christmas I got a bunch of kits for making jewelry, specifically bracelets that some people call candies, with a K and an I at the end, or with a K at the beginning.
So candy bracelets.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't crocheted in a while. So as soon as I got to the store, I was thinking of things to make. And I thought, I do hats a lot, so I decided to do something different when I was looking through the bin of yarn that we can take from. And I'm going to make little cat paw gloves.
Oh, cute.
It's a pattern online on YouTube by Little Things.
Which is the same person you did the little cat hat from, right? Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make it out of these two yarns from the bin, so it kind of looks like a lavender cat.
Oh, so will this be the paw color or the glove color? The bean, like the toe beans?
This will be the toe beans.
Okay. Well, I hope this is enough. This is a small skein. But if not, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So in my store, we have a little basket in the front that is kind of like a yarn library, you know, take a skein, leave a skein type thing. Any little bits that, you know, you maybe don't want to use anymore, or you only had a little bit left. People can donate it there and other folks can take it home, because sometimes you only need that little bit of yarn for something. So that's where she got that from. Okay, I'm going to scooch this lady back a little and pull out my whips. I have, because I knit all of the, I pretty much have been working on these cowls for the most part of the last couple months, and then Bobby's sweater, which I finished, was a big chunk of my time, and then my father-in-law's sweater took up a little bit of time. So the other thing that I have been working on is my Voyage, which is, I am finally completed the color work on it. So here is my Voyage, and that is all done. I am now working on the sleeves. I have done the secure, the crochet secure for each of the steek sections, but what I like to do, rather than steeking it and then picking up the work, I picked up the sleeve, all of the stitches for the sleeve, and then I cut the steek. Oops, and I just dropped some stitches. Let's see if I can kind of show you guys. So there is my steek part right there. Right in here, you can see they are very secure. I just don't like to have, I don't like to put the extra pressure on the stitches after I cut them. So what I mean by that, sorry, I'm fixing these stitches. What I mean by that is I don't like to stress out. The cut yarn is right there and you're picking up stitches as you go around. So I like to pick up the stitches first and then cut. So I will do that for the other sleeve over here as well. I will pick up all of the stitches around and then I will cut the steek section here. And then I will do the same thing for the button band. I will pick up all of these stitches here around the neck, back down, and then I will cut it apart. So I won't get to actually try it on properly until I have done that. I may, before I do the other sleeve, go ahead and do the button band just so I can make sure the sleeve fits right. But mathematically, with my gauge and the measurements, it should fit just fine. There's a little cap sleeve detail that happens on there, and then I add my armpit gusset. That's what I've dubbed it, my armpit gusset, in the decreases on the underarm. I always do that on my sweaters now. I feel like it gives me some extra space to play with. So yeah. Yeah, see, sometimes that gets a little loose in there. I may go back over that with a sewing machine after everything is said and done just to make sure it's super secure. If this wasn't superwash, I might just needle felt it a little bit, and I still may try to do that. I just like to make sure everything's secure. I usually will have no issues on the front button band because that doesn't get a lot of action, but arms move a lot more than the front of a sweater moves. So I may go back over this again just to keep it, to make sure it's not gonna fall apart there at the seam. So that is my Voyage by Woolen Pine. I absolutely love all of these colors in here. It turned out so wonderful. If you're new here and this is the first time seeing it, what I did with this was I took all of the minis that I had and I took a picture of them and I turned it black and white and I divided them into 4 categories, which was white, light gray, medium gray, and then like black, and how they fell, you know, on the gray scale. And then according to the chart, whichever color I needed according to the chart, I would reach in randomly and pull out a skein. And rather, I had my husband do it because if I let myself do that, I would pull one out and I would say, no, I don't really want to knit with that color right now, and I'd put it back. So I made him do it for me. so that I was committed, because I would not have put some of these colors together, like next to each other. And as I was knitting them, I probably didn't really like them, but overall, it's just gorgeous. It's so beautiful and bright, and I cannot wait to wear this. So that is my Voyage, and it hopefully will be done sooner rather than later. But you never know. I get my squirrel moments. I haven't really cast on a whole lot of new things lately. Oh, I left one of my projects at home. I will have to pop in a picture. The other thing I've been working on is my Speltis, which is a scarf that I have been knitting with. We did an Advent stash swap. A couple of my online friends and I, we pretty much did like used Elfster to draw a name, and that was hosted more or less by Nicole of Witch and Knittin' Mama, and we all drew a name, and I got my skeins came from Mandy from Mad Cow, Mandy, and I just love what she did for my little Advent. All of the little minis that I opened were all themed, like Beetlejuice themed. So she put little, you know, scenes on each package that color reminded her of. And what we did, now this was all from our stash, so it was like 10-gram minis from our own personal stashes that we sent to another person. 10-gram minis, and we did 24 of them. Excuse me. And so I will pop a picture in here of my Speltis, because that's another one that I've been working on. It's just a super fun way to knit a scarf. If you guys have been here any length of time, you know that I don't love to knit a scarf. They're kind of boring for me, the back and forth, but the Speltis is just interesting enough because you're doing modular knitting with it, so it kind of makes it fun. And then plus the minis, you're only, you know, using 10-gram minis, so you're changing color every so often. And then speaking of minis, that is what my other whip is, living in one of my giant sweater bags. I got Teresa from Pretty Twisted Yarn. I got her National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Advent this year. And if you are interested to see any of the yarns that were in either one of those Advents, you can check out my Vlogmas, because I showed those every day. And I am knitting the Koori in Poncho. I was completely inspired from Amber of Ambi Marine Knits, because she knit one and a bunch of her minis, and it's gorgeous. And so I cast on mine and did the same. I am holding my fingering weight skeins double. And so what I did at the top here, I split the first skein. They were 20-gram minis, and I split the first one 8 grams in one and 12 grams in the other, so that one section would get done before I had to start the other one, so that it would fade into each other. And I'm just loving the way this is working up. It's going so quickly because of the stripes and the fade, and it's my favorite part of a sweater, essentially. So when I cast on a sweater, I just love to do the yoke. Like, that's my favorite part, because, you know, you're just increasing until you get to the sleeve split, and then you know, you get to the boring part of knitting the body of the sweater, because usually the yoke has all of the interesting color work or design detail or whatnot on it. So this is super fun because I'm just following the pattern, and I am almost done. So I put my colors in reverse order because my Advent ended with blue and it started with red, and I'd rather have the blue next to my face. So I think I'm about halfway through. I think I'm on day, let's see, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I'm on day 13 of 24, so I'm going backwards. So I'm about halfway. I'm about halfway through with this, and it's just a super fun, super beautiful poncho, and I'm excited to have this done because I get pretty chilly sometimes when I'm sitting around my shop, and it'd be nice to just have something on my neck and my shoulders and not have to have a whole sweater on, because I don't always need a whole sweater, but I just need something. So that's my last whip, I think, that I'm actively working on. Of course, you know, I still have several whips. If you check out my Ravelry, you will see I usually put them all in my Ravelry. So yeah, the next thing would be shop news, unless you have anything. What you drawing on? What you working? You want to show it off? You don't have to if you don't want to. She just likes to doodle and hang out with me.
And just
little characters.
Yeah. I like
a little elf character.
And shark and just regular. I really like drawing clothes a lot, so I just started to draw what my shirt looked like, and I sort of just kind of went with it.
Well, that's cool.
And one of them has my favorite animal, shark.
Shark is your favorite animal?
I like sharks.
Cool. So you like drawing clothes a lot. She's also learned how to sew. I don't remember if we've shown that or not.
Did you put some clips in a video before of me sewing at the end of it?
It was probably Vlogmas or Vlogtober. I don't remember. The end of the year is always a blur for me because I love October and Halloween, and then it rolls into November, which happens to be, you know, prepping for the holidays, and there's usually craft fairs and events that I do. And then December is just, you know, lots of busy things to do and gatherings with folks. And so, yeah, it's been a busy end of the year. So that'll bring us to shop news. Oh, I guess we can kind of show this. This is an FO that I did here. I finished this Beetlejuice rug in October. It is listed on my website if you happen to be super interested in that. It was just a fun rug that I made at an event that we had. I like to do examples whenever I have an event because it shows people kind of how things work and all of the time that goes into your creations, and then maybe they can understand the price tags a little better. I also finished this cute stack of mug rugs that looks like a cheeseburger because I just thought that was super fun. Those can also be found in my website, as well as these cute little latte art mug rugs also. And we have made some new bag styles for this year. We've got our medium bags that have a handle and a zipper, and they're perfect for like 2 or 3 skein projects. Will fit in here super comfortably. This one's cute. It's got crocheted granny square fabric. And then we have this cute one that has fast food stuff on it, because in case you couldn't tell, I kind of like little food stitch markers, and I don't know, it's just cute. It's super cute. And then I also designed some snap cake bags, which look like this here. And they have the little snaps on there, and they perfectly hold a 1 skein of yarn. And so like if you're doing a hat or a sock, you can just tuck those right in there and snap that and put it away. in another bag or just carry that like in your purse. Also, super fun thing about these, if you fold them down, they work great as like a little yarn basket. So it'll just sit really nicely on the table, which you can't see, but it just sits nicely on the table. And then if you're doing color work, you have two of these. You can snap them together and have your little yarn cake sit in each little basket. Snap cake bag.
Never seen you do that before.
That's cute, right? I figured that out by accident, actually. That was not intentional. But yeah. And then we have some new stitch markers in the shop that are themed for the upcoming Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is Scarlette's favorite. You got your face covered? Okay, well, I will pop in pictures. This is just a cute little Valentine's set. It's got a little love letter and a cupcake and a jar of hearts. And then we've got two cute little gnomes. I will pop in pictures so you guys can see them better. And then we've got this cute little box of chocolates and this adorable little goat. And then we've got up higher cute little conversation hearts. With some of them have knit words on them. Some of them just say like, be mine, love you. But they can be useful. Like there's one that says SSK, knit you together, yarn, knit, purl. Just cute little conversation hearts. So those are all available on the website as well. We've got classes that are booked up for, well, not booked up, they are being populated on the website for this year. So if you are local, we actually have one tomorrow, which this will not be up before tomorrow, but there's one tomorrow and Saturday, and it's called Unravel Ravelry. And that's for my local folks who don't quite know how to navigate Ravelry very well, to help them utilize it a little more. Sometimes when you're searching for things on Ravelry, it is just overwhelming, the amount of patterns that you have to filter through to find what you're looking for. I got that wonderful idea from a friend of mine, Emily, who is Knit Wit, I think, on Instagram. She joins me in my Zoom on Sundays sometimes, and she was chatting about that, and I said, that is a wonderful idea. I would love to teach a class like that to my folks here. So I put together a little packet for that. Also, I have lots of clearance and marked down yarn on my website. If you go to theknittress.com, the first little box there says sale. There is lots of yarn, really great yarn that has been marked down. It is yarn I will not be bringing back into the shop anytime in the future. Not necessarily discontinued, just discontinued in my shop. So snag that before it is gone. I've already had several skeins go out the door for that sale. So take a peek at that. And then life stuff. Life is just life right now. Working. My grandmother is here visiting for a couple of weeks. Do you have any concerts coming up? She had a couple of concerts she had one in the fall and then one in December.
What was I going to say? In March, I'm going to go on a field trip for choir.
Oh, you get to go on a field trip for choir in March. You have life stuff coming up in 2 weekends.
On the 26th.
What are you doing?
I'm going up to this thing called...
Speak louder.
I'm going to this thing in Portland called the Portland Fan Expo. Me and my friend are going, and we're dressing up as these two characters from our game that me and Mom play called Cult of the Lamb. There was recently a co-op player added called the Goat, so I'm going to be the goat and my friend's going to be the lamb. And
we'll pop a picture in here of their costumes. They're super excited. I just kind of whipped them together using our 3D printer and some hot glue and some fleece fabric. So they're super excited to go to that. I've just got, regular shop stuff. I'm trying to get all this clearance yarn out so I can bring some new yarns in. Yeah. Other than that, I will just be rambling if I talk anymore. This is kind of a quick episode for me. I don't know. We're only sitting at like 35 minutes. I told you I was talking like super duper fast. I am still reading the Hades and Persephone series. I am reading the Hades and Persephone series as well as the male version. So there's from her point of view and from his point of view. So I'm reading each book. I'll read her book and then I'll read his book. And really it's the same events happening just from different perspective. And that's, I'm pretty much still on like book 3, I think. And I haven't been reading very much because it's been busy. Other than that, I'm just gonna work on my whips, and I will hopefully see you all in February for a special episode for our 6-year podiversary. Thank you all for watching. If you are new here, like and subscribe. It's always nice when I get new followers. I still think it's super fascinating that you all want to hear what I have to say about yarn. So take life one stitch at a time.